Erin asks if this is really necessary. She feels a bit uncomfortable about it. Henry asks her to have a little more patience. He needs to take precise measurements so that everything fits perfectly on her body. Erin finds it very uncomfortable for a stranger to be touching her body. Henry says she doesn't need to worry, this is his job, and he's used to doing it with various people. She has no idea how many people he deals with every day. She asks if he's done yet, but Henry asks her not to rush him. He can't afford to take the wrong measurements. She apologizes, and he says he'll measure again to make sure. She is bothered by the delay. He asks her to calm down, it's meticulous work, and he asks her to turn around. He will measure her back and asks her to move her hair for a moment. Henry says people always arrive at the wrong time. She says it may be a customer for him, but Henry doesn't like to be disturbed while doing his job. She sees no problem since he was already finished, that's what he said. He says he's getting embarrassed by her distrust. She apologizes for that, but doesn't feel comfortable with the situation. She is a married woman. He thinks it's better to answer the door. It might be a less complicated client. Henry surprises Erin by saying he came to deliver her clothes. She says he didn't need to, she was already going to pick them up. He says he was passing by and decided to deliver the clothes, but he needs her to try them on so he can see if they fit well. She is not very comfortable with this request, but says he can come in. She will put on the clothes, and if they don't fit, he can take them back. She invites him to sit and make himself comfortable. She will put on the clothes and be back soon. Henry doesn't stay where Erin asked him to stay. She goes to the room, somewhat apprehensive, but decides to try on the clothes to see how they look. Henry follows her and enters the room with his phone to record her. She doesn't notice his presence in the room, and he manages to leave before she notices him. She returns the clothes and says they didn't fit. Henry pretends to be outraged, saying he took her exact measurements. Erin can't pinpoint where he went wrong, but all she knows is that the clothes were too tight. He says unfortunately, he'll need to take the measurements again to redo the clothes properly. She doesn't like what she heard and asks if he doesn't have those numbers recorded, he could just add a few centimeters. He says without the exact measurements, he can't do a good job, and he feels embarrassed by her suspicions, which resulted in poorly made clothes. He doesn't like dealing with people like that, they irritate him a lot. Erin receives a call from the tailor, finding it strange. Henry wants to apologize for how he acted with her last time, he was a bit rude. Erin says it's okay, he was right, when you hire a professional, you should trust their work. He says she's right, but it's better they forget about it, he wants to invite her out. Invite her out? She says he doesn't understand, she already told him she's a married woman. He says there's no problem, he's not jealous. She doesn't know if she gave the wrong impression, but she doesn't do that kind of thing. He says she will go out with him, and if she doesn't, he will release a video of her and asks her to check what he sent her. Video? What video is he talking about? Erin is shocked to see that he filmed her while changing clothes. She is very upset, this could bring serious problems for her. She can't believe this is happening to her. How could she be so stupid? Why did she let this happen? Her husband appears and asks what's going on. Why is she crying? She asks her husband to sit down. She has a lot to tell him. He is worried and wants to know what happened. She explains that it was the tailor they recommended to her. She went to his studio to order some clothes, but he can't imagine what the tailor did. Her husband wants to know what he did. He already wants to call the police. She says that at some point, he filmed her while changing, and now he's using that video to threaten her, saying he'll post it on the internet. She's desperate, she doesn't know what to do. Her husband asks her to calm down, they will find a solution. Erin says the worst part is that he wants to force her to go out with him, but she already said she won't do that because she's married. Her husband says he knows very well how to deal with this kind of guy. Henry appears. He is happy that Erin has reconsidered his request. He says she doesn't need to worry, there will be no problem. Her husband will never find out they were together. He says that since the first time he saw her, he was enchanted. He realizes she is a wonderful woman, but unfortunately rejected by her own husband. She doesn't need to worry, he will take care of her. Henry gets nervous, says she can't escape, he wants her anyway, and he will get what he wants. At this moment, her husband enters with the police, accusing Henry. The police manage to apprehend Henry. He is furious, blames Erin, and says she will pay for what she is doing to him. This won't end here, he will be back. The husband asks if she is okay. Erin says she felt very scared, but he would never let anything bad happen to her.